Consumer is going to pay that price somewhere along the line.
That's Stephen Berry with the Army Corps of Engineers. I asked him the question that's on many people's minds.
They're worried the river could close. What would you say?
Well, I don't. I think with the proactive stance the Corps is taking, I don't see the river actually closing.
That proactive stance includes building thousands of rock dikes like these that jut into the water all along the river.
And this is what they do. The water comes downstream, and during the drought, it's redirected, deflected into the center of the river. It makes the channel deeper, and it scours out the silt.
But engineering can only do so much. The rest is up to nature. Just how much rain would it take to make the river right?
20 inches.
Right, and that would be on a regular and recurring basis.
That's not in the forecast. Long-range predictions actually show the river dropping another 2 to 3 feet, which is why Captain Waller and others on the Mississippi fear life could be about to hit bottom.
Well, we just keep going till she quits moving.
This is the Mississippi River, July 25th, 2012, and this is what the river looks like during a drought. This is about as low, at least that I've ever seen it. Here's a picture from 2008. It'll give you an idea of where the water's normally at, which is pretty much the tree line. This was filmed at Beatree Park in St. Louis, Missouri, and the land across the river there is the state of Illinois. Hope you enjoyed this view of the Mississippi River, and thanks for watching.
This is a this article is about it's about a month old, a little bit over a month. This is from Slate.com, dated July 17th. It says global food shortages, rising prices feared as drought parches Midwest. Consumers could feel the pressure from damaged crops in grocery store aisles going into 2013 or 2013.
That's gonna hit your pockets.
Exactly. It says fears about rising food prices and global food shortages are mounting as American Midwest faces the worst drought in the region in more than half a century, with no hope of relief in the forecast. We're moving from a crisis to a horror story, one agronomist told Reuters. More than half of the continental United States has been affected by the drought, and worse since 1956.
Just like it said in the other article, from Indiana to California.
Mm-hmm. Which has left the nation's corn and soybean crops parched.
Dry.
The impact of the heat wave and drought scorching the country's agriculture center is already seen in the quality of the corn crop. The USDA rated just 31% of crops this week as good or excellent, down from 66% at the same time last year. And price of bushel of corn has doubled to $7.72, according to the Washington Post. So they was doing a hell of a lot better last year around that same time than they was, this year.
And that was the flood waters.
Yeah, it said they rated it down from 66 to 31%. Okay, it says crop losses in Midwest could result in food shortages worldwide, as the U.S. is a leading exporter of grain and could cut back on how much food aid the superpower can offer to international regions in need. The rough growing summer will also hit grocery stores, with the rising cost of corn expected to drive up meat prices in particular.
And that just backs up everything that we just read in the other articles about the Asian food shock, and about how everybody's it's about the pork and all the other stuff.
Yeah, because the cattle, they need, like, it was I forgot the article, but it was an article I had read. They had to bring cattle down from South Dakota because they ran out of hay and grass to feed them and all of that. So that is gonna affect it like that, because if they ain't got nothing to eat, then the cattle gonna die off as well. So they had to bring them down here because we doing a little bit better than South Dakota. It says corn products like ethanol, corn syrup, and cornmeal may also see a spike going into 2013, CNN reports. The increase will likely be slight, but will hit low-income Americans the hardest.
Right, because if you balling, if you got a couple 100,000, couple million, you know what I'm saying, you paying $7 for some corn ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you living day to day, that's $7.
I didn't even check the check. You day to day. That's $7 is gas to get to.
Life's decision.
Hey, should I get corn or should I try and stretch this for gas to get to work tomorrow? Like,
and then the gas is the gas you try to stretch it for is corn itself.
It's corn itself. So all in all, you getting corn, but you either putting
famine,
corn
man.
in your tank or you putting corn in your stomach, man. So it's, and like it said the increase will likely be slight to the rich, but will hit low income Americans the hardest, because them you don't see no rich people out there riding or nothing. The people out there riding because they can't afford things.
Then to add on top of that with the gas, then you got what's going on in Iran. So that's twofold. You know, you got the crude oil price increase, and then you got the lack of corn. So if you can't say Plan B. Plan B fucked up too. You know, you got the Plan A with the crude oil is messed up because of Iran, Strait of Hormuz and everything going on over there, and then you got the famine happening on over here. You know, and that's why the Lord said He's going to increase the famine. You know, it's going to be a famine. He's going to increase it. You know, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse than this. It's going to, because a famine doesn't only mean a lack of food. It's a lack of resources, man. Lack of resources. You ain't gonna be able to get no water, no shoes, no clothes. You're gonna have to rock it out, man. You ain't gonna be able to wash your clothes in the way, you know, because people raised in America are used to going to the washer, you know. Women on their menstrual and things like that, man. You know. Yeah, bad. You ain't gonna be able to get that Yak 88 no more, man. It's gonna be a fan of that Yak.
It's gonna be a fan of that Yak, man.
Yak
Unfortunately, man, let me eat.
They horses gonna be at peace.
That's what we might be pilgrims upon earth, man.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody get that second editor.
Yeah, I get it.
And then, just like, you know what I'm saying, the brother said, goes back to that, where it said in 2007, 2008, people were doing what? They was hoarding food, and they were rioting.
Yeah, 2008 was heavy, because that's, when I first heard about the truth and a lot of stuff was going on. I was watching the Dow like every day, and that's when it was super low. So, you know what I'm saying, them being at peace and safety is like now, because it came all the way from what it was to, you know what I'm saying, being at like 12,000 or whatnot. But, like it said, sudden destruction, because it's just like, it can, bam, just happen just like that. In the blink of an eye. Go ahead.
Second Ezra 16 and 37. I started at 37. The point is at 40 though. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. And when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb.
And them plagues is everything we've been talking about. Starting off with the famine, to the race riots, to the concentration camps and destruction of America. Right now, one of the pestilences that's been going on up in the West now, I read this article in the Midwest. The drought was so bad that it was basically it was fungus growing on the crops. What is it called? Aflatoxins or something to that sort. So that's one of the pestilences the Most High is saying.
It said pains though, but still applies.